This is real time. There are some Casey Musgraves tickets in the balance right now.
And there are some
Literally.
Casey Musgrave stands on this podcast.
We're talking about
Release us.
the one and only Cole Young, aka Thick Owens, the best Instagram handle in the world.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh it.
Can you give us a status report, Cole?
Should I turn this into a fedora so my...
Fuck! Fuck!
I think we have our status report.
Are you guys recording?
No.
No, these mics aren't on.
No. Okay, so like at 10:00.00.50, literally first person in line, like it's a fucking Supreme drop. I click best tickets available, and it goes directly to parking lot C. That's the best tickets available.
Damn.
I thought you guys were about to get pitted.
I thought I was about to get pitted too. Tons of fans want... Yeah, no shit. All right, so I have the walking Coachella man guy again.
Oh, no.
But I've been in that line already, so... Okay, wait, so hold on. What's up with Riverside? What is this? So I got... can you guys hear me okay in this mic?
Oh.
Does it sound like it's coming from the mic, or is it coming
It's a
from...
ripping hot mic. Yeah,
that sounds crispy.
Okay. That's good. Camera's on. Let's see what else. Please keep this page open. You can still... Okay. Camera, speaker, mic, screen. Okay, so I can like share my screen if I really wanted to.
If you wanted to, so we can see what Ticketmaster
Yeah, I
is
think-
giving you right now.
No, because it's on another computer. How much of this have you actually been recording?
All of it.
All of it.
Every single piece of it.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
Oh shit.
He's
My
in.
turn again.
He's in.
Oh, he's in.
Wait, do you have a turn for every individual ticket that you have to do?
I don't know.
This.
I'm trying to buy 4 right now.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a big ask.
There are currently no tickets available. Continue to check back as additional tickets may. All right, this is going to be a tough text to send to Buddy.
I'm sorry.
Hey, so it timed out.
I've got to believe that you're 2 phone calls max away from knowing someone who can get you tickets.
Though.
You're one of the most well-connected people in Los Angeles.
We never want to be that guy, but
It could happen.
Just hit up Q.
It could happen. Yeah, imagine. Hey, can I get some Casey Musgrave tickets? What?
This is easily the
right.
darkest moment that we've collectively experienced on Group Golf Therapy live.
easily.
Yeah.
I might not ever recover from this.
Morale?
So Candace was able to get 4. So
Oh,
Oh, good. Okay.
redemption.
That's
Sick.
huge. So
Okay.
this has been an emotional roller coaster.
I feel better. My heart has been lifted.
Of the 4 of you that are going, you're not the biggest Casey Musgraves fan.
Oh no, I think it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
What music gets you fired up, Cole? What do you like? What do you have in the buds currently?
I've been listening to Donda. Just exclusively the first song over and over and over again.
Kanye's a genius.
Oh my god, this is amazing. I listen to like, it's a lot of Young Thug. It's a lot of like weird 80s like synth stuff, and then like Tears for Fears. I went on a buddy's bachelor party a couple months ago, and like there was our friend Will thinks he has pretty good taste in music, but he just doesn't. So it's like my buddy Brennan and I playing a bunch of music for him in a hot tub, trying to convince him of like what good music is. And we literally were in the hot tub for 5 hours, and, like smoke, like just smoked like 20 beers and we
Listen-
made a playlist out of it called Hot Tub Songs, and that's what I've been listening to a lot too.
Oh, nice.
Did it
Hopefully, a
get
lot of
you
pink.
to-
Lot of pink on that
lot of
on that
pink.
playlist.
A lot of Pink, a lot of
No Doubt.
most of the
No doubt.
Mamma Mia
Los
soundtrack.
Lonely Boys.
Yeah, that is actually on there.
How far is heaven, really?
Let's fucking go. Are you kidding me? No, you're joking, right?
Send us the playlist.
It literally goes. It literally goes "Mr. Me Too" by Clips directly into Los Lonely Boys.
I'm fucking dead.
Hard left
That
turn.
is so good.
Bars.
Oh, see, all right. We're synced. We're on a good wavelength now. Now we
Yeah.
can begin.
Holy shit, that is so funny.
Cole, I'm stoked to get to know you a little bit better. We've only talked, I think, one time,
Likewise,
and it was in the 4.5 days that Clubhouse was relevant. And
it was like in a spite Clubhouse
right.
forum.
It was an anti-Clubhouse chat.
Yeah.
Damn.
How are you? You've been traveling a lot.
Good. I'm like letting myself travel a little bit because I'm kind of got the business not on an autopilot, but like I don't have to do like all of the packing and shipping all by myself anymore, which is a huge benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's good. I was really worried. We went on a Greek vacation a couple weeks ago, and I was like, well, I guess the company's just going to shut down for 2 weeks, and like no one's going to get their shit. So, but no, everything's been good.
So,
Yeah.
how much of your time is dedicated to MetalWood at this stage?
All of it, like
It's full time.
literally every waking moment.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy
full
moly.
time. Full time since June.
How does it feel like you've been around for a decade?
Right.
I think because I mean you made a massive footprint with
Thank
MetalWood.
you. I worked at Malvin. I worked at Malvin for a while.
Right.
So that was like
So you kind of have been around for a decade.
not a decade.
On
I
this
worked-
earth.
So yeah, on this earth. I'm 12.
Cole is 12.
At least.
I worked in the golf space. I like had internships at TaylorMade and Fujikura and all this like capital G Golf World, and then I went to school, and then I worked in fashion, and then like after school, I get like literally it all kind of started in 2017 when I became the brand director at Malvin. But like going back to the golf world, I don't think things really change or move around all that much. So like I was running into people that I remembered from TaylorMade, or like, for instance, somebody from TaylorMade like had moved over to Puma Cobra Golf. So like we re-met, and yeah, it's all kind of like the same world basically. And then to bring fashion friends into the golf world is good. So now like everybody knows each other, and I don't know.
Is imposter syndrome
small worlds.
something that you deal with whatsoever? Because like I have imposter syndrome like walking into the grocery store. So like let alone being the brand director at like a massive art driven company and then starting your own company. Like how do you deal with that sort of pressure at such a young age, frankly?
At 12.
At 12.
At 12. Since I'm 12, you're gonna have to explain imposter syndrome. No, just further elaborate, because I think I know what you're getting at, but like,
I mean,
explain.
so you were
further.
when you became brand director at Malvin, how old were you? 23, 24?
No, I was 23.
Like that's insane to me, you know? Like that feels to me like a position that, you know, a more tenured person might ordinarily have. So when you're stepping into that kind of role, obviously I imagine there's a lot of pressure to succeed and for it to work, and for Steven and Erica to have made a good decision bringing you into that kind
Right.
of role.
I think I came in like guns a-blazing though. Like I coming from like college golf and having grown up with people like Xander Schauffele and Bo Hostler, like at rival schools, and traveling around the country, like going to a bunch of tournaments, like I felt like I had a personal connection with all of these soon to be professional golfers. So like my original pitch to them was, you need to seed to all of my friends because they're going to be on tour soon. And like, let me put together the Malvern golf team, kind of like how Baker has like a skate team where there's pros, but there's also like a flow team of kids and like little groms that like do most of the legwork for growing the brand of the business, because they're posting about it all the time and all that kind of stuff. And they were just like not at a position. This was literally like 2 days after they opened the store on Fairfax. And I went and met with them and explained to them why my positioning is unique, because I come from the golf world and I like understand the je ne sais quoi of towing the line between golf and fashion, and how this position is like perfect for me. And they basically said, this is great. Like we're not in a position to seed a bunch of clothing right now. It's just like, that's not where the company's at, but eventually. But like, we'll definitely let you do sales. Because I was like, I've worked on the brand side doing sales. I worked on the retail side doing the buying. So, yeah, it was just like a perfect match. Right. And so my responsibility there grew pretty quickly. And it was cool to just build a community of friends that were all starting to play golf kind of at the same time, and like holding people's hands doing that, which is sick. So
yeah, so it almost sounds like your hubris saved you from internalizing any of that pressure. Like,
yeah, no, that one all right over my head, because I just like, I was just thinking of it as like a fun job, right? Like the pressure didn't get to me at Malvern because I kind of knew it was going to work. Like I had friends sending shit to me all the time. Like, yo, this is sick. And time was flying by, and like we were growing really, really fast. And yeah, the pressure kind of passed me by, I guess, which is cool. I didn't have to deal with all that much.
I can imagine when you stepped in, like you said, guns a-blazing, you were also like playing a lot. Like you're playing golf. You were meeting with this person from Puma or that person from TaylorMade, or just like going out to Roosevelt and just. I can understand how like just being in the thick of it, the thick of it.
Prior to
you're just
prior to like working at Malvern, I had like fallen out of love with golf though. Like I was working in apparel and just like hadn't touched a club for over a year.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't good anymore. I was never good. I wasn't even good in college. I'm better now than I was in college. So that should tell you something. But yeah, I don't know. I just like, I thought like being in the scene and like going to parties and wearing leather jackets was way cooler than like dressing up to go play golf.
And now you just do all of that and play golf.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like wear like platform heels and like try to go to the range and shit like that.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
I don't know. I just like I hung it up. I think the way that I bought stuff was really ever changing, right? Because I worked at Revolve and Forward, and we had like this really gnarly employee discount. So I was like, why would I spend money on golf when I could buy Johns? This is the most, it's the easiest decision I've ever had to make. So I was getting like 80% off Raf Simons and Margiela and all this shit. And that's what I spent my money on. So I didn't have any money to spend on golf. I was just spending money on Johns. And then something clicked where I like saw a tour shoe set of like Nike wedges that I always wanted. I was like, I could be spending money on golf and I could sell all my Johns now. that's kind of the battle. Like my eBay search history is just like a WWE cage match of like, is it golf today or is it going to be shoes? And I feel like I've found a pretty good balance of that now.
Is that what you think was the spark for MetalWood? Like, I mean, you very there's a very balanced affinity for golf and fashion that's present in the brand, but like even just hearing you talk about that, you were working in the fashion world and moonlighting as a golfer in your search history at night.
Yeah, I think the romanticizing of golf clubs as if they were like really coveted dunks is kind of how it started. And yeah, I wish there was like a better light bulb moment, but I don't know. I've always like wanted to mix high with low and just like do the whole vintage thing. I guess the spark of MetalWood was definitely always more vintage inspired, but when you're looking at the cyclical fashion of apparel and like how things become popular or get repopularized over time, like that's kind of what excites me about golf. And so like trying to predict what is going to be popular in golf 5-10 years from now is exciting to me.
And do you think there is going to be sort of a return to the MetalWood stylings on, let's say, like on the tours?
I think so. Yeah, it's going to take a little time. It won't happen on like a massive scale, but like the best part of talking to a subculture of a subculture is like really like creating a connection with people. So I do think it is catching on. You're seeing it with like people playing half sets and getting more creative. The whole point of like building a exciting golf bag is like how do you piece it together, kind of like how you would piece an outfit together. Just like it doesn't all have to be like golf jock, like I'm playing the most buff Callaway Maverick because I need to break the course record today. Like I don't really think that's super fun. So hopefully it's starting to work. I mean, I look at my Instagram story and that's kind of reserved only for reposting of people talking about MetalWood and like showing me what they found at Goodwill today. And that it's like, there's more people caring about like stupid snake eyes irons today than there were a couple of years ago, which is cool. So I like that part.
I personally really love to see the evolution of MetalWood, and then also the evolution of the community that you've created. Like you just said, seeing people either buying old clubs or having a renewed interest in the bargain bin at Roger Dunn, which a few years ago that was very uncommon for people to be thinking about finding an old set of blades or even looking at older.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword now though, because I give up too much like free gas, and then I go to Roger Dunn, fucking empty ass used bins. Like, no, this is horrible.
Man, the Play It Again Sports in East Milwaukee. Let me tell you, they had some heaters.
Wow.
I think we were texting you that
second
day.
swing and
like,
yeah.
So that the Sasquatch 5-wood was that hit different, literally.
Fugazi Sasquatch.
Oh yeah,
Fugazi.
So good.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't know. I like on another podcast a couple of weeks ago, I like gave up that Goodwill actually has like an online site.
Oh no, yeah, you can't give that away.
yeah, no,
I know.
we'll keep that behind the paywall.
Yeah.
I guess like let's on a deeper level, like let's talk nostalgia, because MetalWood is nostalgia, right? And like I don't know what it is about our generation that is so deeply nostalgic for that specific era, right? Like an era even before we had
Our wits about us.
cognizance, or like, yeah, even like concrete memories. Like, where's that come from for you? And is it, if you could put a ratio of like real to irony, where would you say that nostalgia actually like sits for you?
I think it depends on the day, right? Like how sentimental you're feeling. I don't know. A lot of it's pretty ironic, and I hope that doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. I don't know. I'm just like cracking jokes all the time, so I take myself not super seriously, but like seriously enough to where I feel like the brand image matters, and like getting a point across matters. So I think the reason that we all feel nostalgic about all these things is like, maybe it has to do with something your parents taught you, or something that your siblings taught you at a really young age, or just showed you or thought was cool or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why our generation is obsessed with nostalgia. It's odd. I get what you're saying. It's like, maybe it just has something to do with lack of technology, or lack of like access to those memories. Like, I guess you really only have pictures in your like parents' photo albums of that era that I'm trying to glorify, right? So it's not readily available on your iPhone. But yeah, I don't want to beat it like a dead horse with it, but like this is something that comes up in almost every single thing that I talk about. Is like, I seriously do think of golf clubs in a way to compartmentalize time, as opposed to like what kind of song was indicative of like the summer of 2001, right? Or like, I can remember what clubs I was playing at certain keystone events in my life. So, yeah, I think that, and yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And I think
Absolutely.
I think that's cool, because those, like, the golf clubs are they're tangible, like songs aren't, like you can keep those clubs in a vault and be like, this was 2001 for me. This was 2018 for
I
me.
beat my dad for the first time with
Right.
this club.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
So you can wield it as a trophy.
Right. Exactly.
Fuck you, Dad.
One thing, Cole, that I think is really unique about your point of view, which is obviously very strong, is I never would have guessed a few years back, when I was not playing golf or really in tune with the golf world at all, that there would be someone like yourself creating a brand based around nostalgic golf moments, but was also pushing the golf world forward as a whole into making the game more fun. Because if you think about that era, there was a lot of things happening that weren't fun for people of color, or people that weren't older white people.
Yeah, that comes up all the time, but it's like, what I'm trying to do is like, one, not make friends at any OEM manufacturer, because they spend millions of dollars a year on like marketing brand new technology that they're going to sell for thousands of dollars, right? And so I'm trying to go the anti that. Like, I want you to create or come to this golf store with an extreme budget, whether it be like under $200 or under $300, and like try to put together the sickest set possible with that extreme budget. And I understand that like this glorification of the late 80s and early 90s, like that as a era is like problematic, but I there's bits of it that you can choose to like appreciate, right? And I often find myself being embarrassed calling myself a golfer, and like I don't really want to be a part of that world, but I do really think that like in choosing to try to get creative with creating sets with extreme budgets like that. Like that's something that like everybody can get behind, right? Like that makes it easier. The barrier to entry is not so high. There's just like, it sucks, right? Like to play basketball at a local park, like all you need is a basketball. And to play golf at the local muni, you like need clubs, balls, a tee time, shoes, like all that shit. So yeah, to make it more accessible makes it modern and pushes golf forward. And I think that's the easiest way to justify like having a golf brand in the current era, right?
Yeah, I think there's also something to be said for like reinterpreting that, or like recontextualizing that style in today's language that is just naturally more accepting and inclusive. So you're almost like, like reappropriating that kind of exclusion from the 90s and early 2000s, that I think is really interesting.
I'm also making fun of like everything and everybody.
Right.
So like if someone looks at it from a bird's eye view and it's like, oh, he's just like making fun of all these people in the 90s, then that kind of that passes,
that too.
right? So
Yeah, that's
exactly.
It's like I'm making golf more accessible while sticking a middle finger.
Because look how dumb these people look. You look like idiots.
What are some of your favorite ways to engage with golf, like on a playing level these days? Like when you go out to go play golf, what does that experience look like for you?
It's a shitty answer, but it is my answer. And I don't get to play super often. If I do, it's with people that I enjoy playing golf with. So I have like a group of buddies that we like all know the right games. We all play at a similar level. And, I think that when I go out to play golf, I want to play golf with them. The beautiful thing about the pandemic was like last year I played more golf with either first-time golfers or like new people than I ever have, and it was awesome. So that was really cool. I think that the closing of like all the LA courses too forced me to go out and, you know, get to Oxnard or like Ventura County and play all those courses, or go down south to Long Beach and discover a bunch of courses that I just like would never have played. So that was cool. But yeah, I feel like and this is not to like toot my own horn, but like if I said yes to everybody that invited me to play golf, like I would not get any work done. But I really do wish that I could. It would be a really sick experience and ways to better engage with the community and figure out like, and just like, listen, like what are you getting out of golf today? Like, are you meeting someone new? Are you trying to shoot a new personal best? Are you just like blowing off steam? And all of those stories are really unique and cool to me. So, and it helps me tell my story too, right? Because it's just better POV. So to answer your question, I wish I played more golf. I don't enough. But when I do, I like being familiar with the people I'm playing with, but I would also be open to having first-time interactions with people every time I played.
What was your perception of me the first time we played? This is a selfish question.
I had like a
Let's go.
I'd seen your swing on Instagram and the commercial, so like I knew you were kind of balling outrageous, and did we
were up at Sand Canyon.
Sand Canyon first, or did we do Monarch? Did we do Monarch first?
We were at
the FootJoy shoot. We literally did the FootJoy shoot like 2 days before that.
We did the FootJoy shoot, and then Sand Canyon with the format guys?
I didn't care if you were good or bad because I blew you off at Roosevelt like 20 times before that I was like, fuck, I just need to meet this dude. I just like need to be friends with him. No, because like
Cole Young,
I have no
major
excuse
dick.
to not play Roosevelt. I have no excuse to not play Roosevelt because I live like a 6-iron away from Roosevelt. But every time Brad would ask, it would be like 2 p.m. on like a Wednesday. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm getting
I
residuals,
cannot- I
man. I got
cannot.
days off.
I got shit to do today.
So
Got orders to ship out.
mean, I'm really looking forward to playing with Drew and Connor for the first time. But Brad, you've always got a spot in my foursome. So
That's love. We're trying to get
Bless.
these two out here this winter because
Yeah, we'll
it
be
snows
out.
in Milwaukee, and
Fuck.
Connor really
Yeah.
likes to travel. So
Confirmed.
Yeah, we're the gears are in motion for a GGT Southern California link up. So you'll be on the short list. You'll be on the short list for sure.
Yeah,
Paul.
the meetup part 2. We already got Wisconsin under our belt as an in-person.
let me ask you guys, as budding stars in the golf community, and feeling like you guys either want to or you feel the need to do like golf meetups. I don't know if that's something that is in your kind of extended universe.
It's in our
but-
oeuvre for sure.
Okay. I look at the Oil Harden Classic. Have you guys heard of that? It's like Eternal Summer Golf that puts it on, and it's like on the East Coast, and it's persimmon woods only. And that is a very targeted, like, you must do this or else you're not coming to the tournament kind of thing. And they've grown this community so big that like they don't really have to be club Nazis, and like they don't have to look over everybody like, yeah, that's not purely correct, or like, oh, that's not actually persimmon, that's wax, or like they get away with not having to do so much work because they have a community that really cares enough to truly abide by the rules.
Right.
I want to do a MetalWood period correct tournament where it's like you can only play clubs from the 80s and 90s, and you have to have like period correct shafts in them. All the grooves can be fucked up. You have to be playing like a Torbellata ball or a wound ball or something like that. But I like worry that we get to the day and like some fuckhead's going to have like a Titleist 905R, but put like a brand new Ventus shaft in it to like get a leg up on the competition. And I'm going to freak out and get mad at them. What are your thoughts on that? Because I would love for the community to be so big that people would actually care to do the research and go in and like get like the true blue board that was, or no, excuse me, like a EI-70 that was in it. But I'm curious to know if you guys have thought about having a group golf therapy meetup, and if there were qualifications that were to be met, or if it was all welcome, or basically I'm asking you how to run.
I love that question, actually.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
I think for, not to speak for everyone, but I think for like a meetup for us, it would probably involve some sort of like live show, sort of like a tour of some sorts where we could meet up, potentially play some golf, and then, you know, just riff with the people that are there. But I think for us, with the show that we're trying to produce and the community that we're trying to build, I think it would be tough to have any sort of restrictions or limitations on who would be welcome. So, but I mean, obviously, for your point of view, or like the persimmon event, I could see how that, you know, there needs to be some sort of qualifications for attendance.
Or we could limit the number of attendees, hit up Goodwill's store, buy them out, make sets for folks.
Sick.
Ooh.
I mean,
That would be a
See,
really
that's what
good
I wanted
way
to
if
do.
you
That's what
supplied
I
all the
wanted to do
clubs.
at
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what we were going to do at Don Kanabe. Brad was like, on the first hole, there's just like an orange Home Depot bucket filled with like torbolatas so that people can't use like brand new Pro V1s.
Yes.
I think that'd be
Yes.
That I was gonna say if it was like a first come first serve, and it's like you get here early, you can have the first choice of the least fucked up balls and clubs, and whoever shows up last, you get like bottom of the barrel, literally. I think that would be pretty. That would be sick because then there would be no ill will because everyone it's first come first serve.
Right.
Everyone has the same shot at the shit that you have in there.
I also believe strongly in the community that we've built that quote unquote qualifications would have already been met via our interactions with them daily. Like
Right.
I think the three of us can probably name, 10 to 20 people right now that we interact with all the time that would be open to a meetup or a tournament and just roll with it.
Yeah, I think the only rule that we would the only qualification I suppose that we would impose is like don't be an asshole, and
that's number one.
Yeah,
but I mean even that
like has those random golf club events and like people trying to do some fuck shit just show up and like ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, but even that like I part of me almost like would welcome one dissenter or like one shitty person in the mix just so we could like have a conversation about it, and like
just shake them like
not even though like just love them to death and make them break down and just show to everybody like this works. See?
Right.
But back to your first question, Cole. I mean, I think like when you're hosting an event, like there's only so much that you can control to a certain degree. And I think if somebody were to show up to a period specific golf tournament that you were to put on with a non-period era, like a non-era piece of equipment, like to a certain degree, like that's on them, like if they want, like if somebody I'm playing with tells me that they have made 40 hole-in-ones in their life, who like I don't really care to like I don't really care enough to prove them wrong in the moment or like shake them silly and be like, no, fuck you, you're a liar. I just think like to a certain degree that's an issue that they have with themselves, whether they do so knowingly or not. Like in your era specific equipment example, I think that's there might be somebody who just like doesn't know that that's an issue or like doesn't know that that specific shaft that they have is like 2 years too late. But to a certain degree, I think like, should it matter? Like, yeah, you set this general guideline for the event, but just let people play.
Yeah. Let the kids play, man.
That's right.
GGT meetup tournament sponsored by MetalWood.
Let's do it. I'm in.
80s and 90s specific clubs only. Coming to Roosevelt. That would be such a fun
there would be a runway for sure, like a walk-off.
God,
a la Zoolander.
Oh, John's enthusiasts only.
Yeah.
Cole, you're you're somebody who strikes me as being very like in touch with their own self-expression and like creativity. And, like you said earlier, like your brand guidelines for MetalWood are so specific and so like everything is referential and everything is like so in the canon of MetalWood. I want to know more about like where your creativity comes from, like where the impetus was, where the like genesis of your creativity came from. Like, was that something that was instilled in you at a young age? Were your family like encouraging of your creativity? Where did that sort of come from?
That is a good question. I feel like my parents are pretty creative. I feel like my parents are pretty creative, and then I would do something in school, and they would say, "Oh wow, Cole, you're really creative. You're like your dad." And I was just doing it, and I was like, Okay, I'm creative. Like, that's it. No, I don't think there was like an impetus. I used to draw as a kid. I would draw. I drew exclusively cars with big rims. And when
Let's unpack that.
Escalades on dubs.
yeah, exactly. I don't think there's anything to
I'm
unpack.
just kidding. I'm
That's
totally kidding.
yeah, and then
That's just sick. Yeah.
And then when I started playing junior golf, like, I don't think I really cared about what I wore until I saw this brand called Sub 70 come out. Sub 70 was like in the same vein as like Jay Lindbergh, but this is like very early Stockholm basement hours Jay Lindbergh. This is like right when Jesper Parnevik got signed.
This is the club manufacturer,
And so,
right?
No, the Sub 70 is a clothing line that predated the club brand.
Oh.
It was literally Sub 70 spelled
Okay.
out, and they made split hem pinstripe pants in like the most psycho colors ever. And
Send the
this
link.
kid, Danny Angel. Yeah, I will. They don't exist anymore. The owners of Trendy Golf had something to do with the brand, and I think that when Jay Lindbergh decided to be like the standout of their two like kind of umbrella brands, like they deaded Sub 70 and moved on with with Jay Lindbergh. But you can like talk to the Jay Lindbergh team if you like met any of them and like asked them about Sub 70, and they would just be like, oh my God, you know that brand? But yeah, they made crazy pants, and these two kids, Kevin Carnegie and Danny Angelucci, were like winning every San Diego junior golf event in those pants. So like, I got the pants. And then, yeah, that was like kind of the start of like wanting to just like look different, because I would wear the pants to not golf. I would wear the pants to like just normal everyday shit. And that was kind of the reason I played golf, was to just be different. Like, I didn't really want to play basketball or football outside of like my physical inability to play those. I didn't want to play that shit anyway. Y'all are nerds. But yeah, so like playing golf in and of itself was different enough for me to like express my creativity. And so that's kind of how that started. But yeah, paying attention to like things that I was wearing and how I looked, I guess. Yeah, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I definitely do feel like you can understand a lot about some person by like the way that they present themselves, and like it's on you for your personality to like back that up. And yeah, hopefully I come off as like a semi-decent person. But like, I think that first meeting is really important. So I've always been like mindful of how I'm presented.
Ooh, okay. So what are some impressions that you get from the three of us based on our collective styles? Not necessarily today, but in general.
He said, "Don't
How
judge
are
me
you?
for this makeshift fedora right now."
Yeah.
or do.
Yeah.
Roast
Definitely
this,
don't use today's template as an example.
roast this man.
I look at Brad and I'm like, damn, that dude smells real nice and expensive.
He does.
He's gotten that multiple times.
The Labo.
Connor, like when I look at his Instagram stuff, I'm like, literally every sentence just starts with me, an intellectual.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like, fuck, this guy is genius.
that's what we say every day.
Drew and I are like, probably could be twins, honestly.
For sure.
Cole's my son.
Yeah, honestly, like,
Style dad.
we are both like super simpatico on humor and like our references and like where we get our jokes and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's you guys in a nutshell.
And also, both of y'all dress your ass off. Don't leave that out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Cole.
Everybody in this group dresses their ass off.
Call us ranch because we be
Damn.
dressing. I had.
Yeah.
All right, I'm logging off.
Yeah,
Bye.
This has been real.
So Cole, you said you've been dressing for a minute. Like, would you say that? Like, what were the fits like in middle school and high school for golf? Like, were you white belt JL or were you?
Oh my god, yeah, white belt only. No, I mean the outfits were uniforms until I got to college. In my freshman year of college, I did not have any idea how to dress. And it took some like serious like whipping into shape from my roommate to like figure that out.
Ooh, so we have a specific person to thank for.
Oh yeah, totally. Like I don't know if he'll listen to this. I'll tell him to listen to it. But like, yeah, there was like some Obey hats and like some V-neck T-shirts and shit like that. That really, like, yes. Yeah.
That sounds
Honestly, bring that back. Like
Dig into the
passes.
archives for us, please.
MetalWood Ed Hardy edition.
Yeah. Legit. Not Ed Hardy. It wasn't that
Okay.
bad, but like.
Obey had some sick graphics. I'd say Obey of all of the. Of
No,
those
but it was
brands.
just like a PacSun special, just a gigantic Obey.
Oh,
hat
okay,
on the-
got it. Okay.
And like I hung it up on my dorm room wall next to like this Endless Summer poster a movie that I still like haven't seen to this day.
You haven't seen Endless Summer? Dude, that's a classic.
No, man, it's like
It's super boring.
I'm not gonna see
Yeah,
it now.
no, it's
At this point, I'm not seeing Endless Summer. I'm not seeing Game of Thrones. I will be able to like monetize my like brain for like not having seen those for
Totally,
for sure.
Like if
fair.
like, someone that wants to watch. I shouldn't be putting Game of Thrones and Endless Summer in the same box, but like someone's gonna be like, damn, I would love to rewatch that. I'm just gonna buy a brain and watch that again for the first time.
There's a market for it.
Absolutely.
High school and college, middle school and high school golf, there's uniform. Any chance to wear a white belt, you would do it.
of course.
College, I looked like every other young go hard, like Nike dry fit yoga pants, like as skin tight as possible. Tech fabrics,
Tech everything.
shit.
Tech-
yeah, shit
tech
that
hats.
helped your game. Yeah, everything. Compression
The
shorts.
stretchier, the better.
Honestly, I'm like losing out on club head speed by this PK polo right here.
You know, we're all happy that you've come full circle and come back around to the good side of golf
Thank
fashion.
God. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, not that I'm like entering any form of like major stardom or like public figurism, but like I've definitely had to check myself and like delete some tweets, not out of like some pure malicious place, but like being immature and like just doing some dumb shit. But I've also had to delete shit off of Facebook that like if someone were to surface a picture of me wearing a white belt, like I'm gone.
People have been
Yeah.
canceled for
Eviscerated,
less.
Yeah.
People have been canceled for less. Yeah, trust.
What pisses you off? What like
What about golf?
no,
pissing me
just
off, or
just in
what
life.
about
What makes you like what gets you hot?
I just got a new computer. This old piece of shit. Like if something doesn't load, it normally speed. I walk really fast. If something's too slow, sometimes I have those days where like everything takes a couple extra steps. Right, like the Brita needs to be refilled. I can't just get water. There's no water in the Brita, or can't just get dressed. Like something has to be steamed. That shit pisses me off. I like things to be efficient. Like if I'm in a rush to get somewhere, I'm late in my car, but there's no gas in the car. And that, a lot of it's on me. That pisses me off. People taking themselves too seriously, that pisses me off.
And what about golf?
Not much else.
Things taking too long and people taking themselves too seriously.
Yeah, it does bleed over into that world too, for sure. But I don't know. People jock and steez, right? Like, I get that it's a form of flattery, but I've seen some pretty close replicators, which is bothersome. Good friend of mine just always taught me to wear like horse blinders though, and keep your head down and like keep innovating, because they're just like not going to do it as fast as you do. Damn, I shouldn't have said that. Now people know that bothers me.
You're in a safe space, man.
What else? Yeah, golf's first safe space. Thank God.
We wouldn't say that. You did though. Thank you.
Well, we're
Right.
gonna
It's
clip
okay.
that. We're using that.
That's our Cole Young testimonial.
What else pisses me off? Honestly, not a lot. I feel like I try to get by with as least little stress as possible. Yeah.
What do you like to do away from MetalWood, away from golf, that that helps with that stress management? Like, what do you do for fun? What do you do that's just for Cole?
I not much, because like MetalWood's pretty fucking fun. Like my dream hour on like the laptop is like there's 20 eBay like tabs open, and I'm like gonna score on some vintage FootJoys for like $40. Like that's hype. The stress relieving part is actually the action of playing golf with friends and like not thinking about stuff. I've been traveling quite a bit with my girlfriend. That's been really fun. Going to new places and going to restaurants. It's like the best.
What's on your
Or having like a show.
What's on your Masters menu? Masters dinner menu, championship dinner menu.
Is it like a restaurant that's catering it, or I'm just building out the whole
You just
menu?
build out the menu.
Yeah.
What are the menu items?
Yeah, a la carte. You can get anything you want from anywhere in the world.
I'm just gonna say like the best of everything, and it's just not gonna have any like. It's not gonna be very coherent. It's just like very
It's your
random.
menu.
I think that is that would be an issue, because I could eat like Chinese food, Mediterranean food, and like pizza all in the same meal.
Hell yeah.
And my girlfriend would just look at me like, what the fuck did you just eat?
So like you love a food
So
court.
there's no rhyme or reason. Yeah, just like anything. Throw anything at it. So like I've been really fucking with Greek salads and also the Chinese chicken salad from California Chicken Cafe. So those are your two
Don't you know I had that for lunch
appetizer
yesterday?
options.
Oh,
California Pizza Kitchen.
So good. California Chicken Cafe. There's gonna be some sort of just like Kismet rotisserie. I don't know if anybody has had that except for Brad, maybe, but that's like Mediterranean chicken, like finger food stuff.
Sounds incredible.
I don't know, lots of good shit. The Salazar tacos. This is an awful meal.
keep it going. Honestly,
It's
We're at
it's
your-
scattered,
It's a bit scattered.
It's mouth
but it
watering.
sounds good.
Sea bass, fish tacos, and then like like flan for dessert.
So there's two different types of tacos. Let me just say, I love flan
I
so
love
much.
flan.
Yo, fuck me
Yeah.
up with some
Yeah.
flan.
If it's on the
Facts.
menu, you're ordering that. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I love
Flan is if it's like in Supersize Me when they ask him if he wants to supersize it, he has to say yes. If I see flan on a menu, I have to order it.
I have to say
It's
yes.
flan and
Yes.
French onion soup are my automatic
Really?
yes orders.
French onion.
Wow. Even if it's like 105 degrees out in the middle of Scottsdale, Arizona, like
He's like, I don't
Holy
make the
shit.
rules.
I
You're
signed
not
this
bad.
contract in blood, buddy.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, the Masters dinner question is tough because I feel like you have to please a lot of people that like probably aren't into food, right? Like you're gonna have past Masters champions that like want chicken fingers and fries.
Fuck them. Are you kidding me?
At Marco
It's
Mira.
your
Yeah.
master's dinner. You get what you want, and it's almost like talk about every match is won on the first tee. Like you tell people what to eat. You just won the match.
Yeah.
You know.
True.
All right. Let's say you have a really important match play day tomorrow. What are you rolling up in?
A car?
No. What outfit?
Outfit or
Or does it depend on who you're playing?
yeah. Who's the match with and where's it at? So let me come back to you with like the answer, this fantasy that often plays in my head. The USGA events like the USAM, the US Mid Am, like the ones that don't get that much publicity are going to be qualifying. Then you have a stroke play, and then there's match play, right? And the match play decides the championship. The round of 64 gets no TV time, but like the round of quarters and semis and in, they all get TV time. So the fantasy that plays over and over in my head all the time is that I go mega try hard and like actually use clothing that I know is going to help me play better and clubs that are super forgiving and like are bent mega strong. So like I hit a 210 yard 6-iron or whatever, and I make it to the tournament and I play well in the seeding. I make it to match play. And the second the cameras are on, I'm wearing like a Shingo Katayama, like cowboy hat, a sweater vest, like comically large pleated pants. Like it looks like two pairs of pants are sewn together to be one, leather sole bottoms. And I'm playing like a Bridgestone J33 driver, a Callaway Squareway wood head cover or head 3-wood, no 5-wood, 2-iron through pitching wedge, MP14s, Vokey special grind wedges, and like a Ping Doc 17 waffle iron mallet putter. And I want all eyes on me, the camera that day. Like, what? Cole Young out of Los Angeles. We're not really sure what the fuck he's doing this for, but he's made it into the semis and full outfit change, full bag change, and to win a national championship with like some fuck shit would be the funniest thing of all time.
You had me at the
So that's
Shingo cowboy hat, because that
Yeah,
really that
exactly.
completes any, no matter what clubs, what the rest of the fit
any
looks like.
any ensemble.
Like
That-
you
that-
just win 10-8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Straight
literally.
up.
I'm imagining going
Um,
and creating that character on Tiger Woods 2005.
Yeah, exactly.
I might honestly
That's
like
precisely.
I might
what
download The Sims
I'm going
3
for.
and like create that character today.
yeah.
The so that I think it was the U.S. Junior Am that they just played at. God, it might be the U.S. Am, might be the Junior Am, but they played it at Oakmont. I'm pretty sure, and the kid that won, it was the Junior Am. The kid that won, like the major headline story was that he won with a quote unquote garbage putter, and it was just like a Ping I-Series putter from like a used bin that he spent $30 on. And it's probably like 10 years old, but like the comment section was going bananas. It's like, oh, I had that putter, like maybe I'm gonna bring it out of my garage, like all this kind of stuff. And that is like the MetalWood muse, right? Like
It was heartwarming.
winning stuff, or like playing good golf with like just joke clubs, and that's funny to me. So that, I don't know if that answers your question, but like if it were the ultimate important match, which would be like the finals at the USAM, that's kind of what I'm wearing, and that's what
I love
hoping
it.
to win with.
Yes.
Sign us up.
That's sick.
Connor will loop.
I hope we can make that dream
I'll
come to
caddy for
fruition.
you.
I was gonna say, so like the one that I'm really gunning for is the U.S. Mid-Am. So I haven't had the chance to qualify for many of them. I'm 27 now. The first 3 opportunities I had to play in the Mid-Am, I missed. One of them was from COVID. I just tried to qualify for my first one a couple weeks ago, and I probably could have practiced a little more before. I hadn't touched a club in like 3 weeks before I played it, so I played like shit. But next year is the Mid-Am is at Erin Hills, which is a course that holds a very special place in my heart. And I think there's an opportunity to possibly sell some MetalWood into that pro shop in the next year. So it would be very, very
Let's
special to
go.
like be there, playing in the Mid-Am, staying on property, and like also having my stuff in the store. And,
I mean, talk about a corporate boondoggle. Like that is
yeah, serious, and just like a dream headline,
Yeah.
right? Like, putting it on a silver platter for the USGA,
Yep.
because Lord knows they need help. Need help with their shit. So
I'm thankful that when we were here, or when Connor and Brad were here, they got to experience Erin Hills on the last day. So yeah, they know how special that place is as well.
last day of the season.
Yeah, last day of the trip that we were here in Wisconsin.
Last day
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Mhm.
So
I mean, I've played a lot of really, really good courses, luckily, and I seriously do think that Erin Hills has to be top three, just like most enjoyable experiences, like the comfort stations, the golf, the people are friendly, the weather's like perfect, the sky looks like double the size of what it normally does when you're in like a metropolitan area, which is really cool.
I mean, shit, we only played the Kettle Loop. We played 5 holes, maybe 6 holes.
Oh my.
And like that alone, like the score, you take one look at the scorecard, it's par 4.5, and you're just like, whoa, like
Yeah.
I'm about to
Yeah.
play a different
Yes.
type of golf.
Yeah. Yeah, Erin Hills is
So
a very,
sick.
very cool experience. And like they have all the money in the world and all the land in the world to create like another golf course if they wanted to, or build a resort there. And if it stayed the way it was for the rest of eternity, I would not be mad.
It's
so true.
yeah, it's sacred.
Yeah, it really is. Just like finishing on 18 and like knowing what Justin Thomas did, and like looking and seeing like the chapel in the background, it like almost looks haunted. It's fuck, that place is good. I'm bummed I didn't get to make it there this year. I made it the last 2 or 3 years, but
We'll see it. We'll see it next year for sure. We'll buy some merch in the pro shop.
at the Mid-Am.
that
Yeah, you'll
offer
have
is
to get
open.
past Colt Nedler in order to make the Mid-Am, though, in California.
Bro, I was going through a lot of like my old Golf Week magazines from when I was a kid, when I was home at my parents' house, and Colt is just like on every leaderboard in that magazine.
Crazy.
It's like, it's funny. If you look at, like, say the the AJGA, like Rolex Classic that's in at Greyhawk every year, or the Ping Invitational, like he's on the leaderboard, and like not far in front of him is Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, like Emiliano Grillo, like all these people that are on tour.
Wonderkind.
Right. Yeah. Freakazoid. So good.
Who's the best golfer you've ever competed with?
Xander, by far. I didn't go to the same high school as him. We were rival schools in league. So he played for Scripps Ranch, and he was a year older than me, and I played at Cathedral. And yeah, I what's funny is like I don't think anybody in high school knew that he was the one. I think everybody thought this one kid, Ben Doyle, was the one, and Ben went on to play at Cal and kind of didn't make it. And Xander moved around a bit in college. He went to San Diego State. He went to Long Beach State. And I think it may have been like the last year they played the Pub Links when it turned into the 4-ball. And I think it was at the Greenbrier, and he either won it or maybe that was the USAM. And it was like on after that, like everybody knew. So, but yeah, I played with a lot of really good kids. I played with Bo Hostler, Jordan Spieth, Bryson, Xander, because they're all kind of like my age. So,
well, star-studded lineup.
When we get Xander on the pod, we'll have him corroborate that story.
Yeah, he's gonna say,
Yeah,
we're gonna ask
was
him
it
the same
Ben?
question. He's gonna say Cole Young.
for such a nice guy, he has a really, really difficult agent.
It's good to know.
And so, yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you guys need help. I can definitely try to pull some strings, but that dude Scott is no joke.
A gatekeeper.
Scott, check your DMs, bro.
Yeah. Drew, you said that you had one or two spicy questions for Cole. Do you want to open up the treasure chest?
Oh, if we want to go that way, we can go that way.
Open up that mosh pit.
Open up the pit.
Open up that mosh pit that I didn't get tickets to.
Shout out Candace. She's got the tickets. As a purveyor of spicy takes yourself on social media, and just from being a persona that's been on Instagram for a while, I'm sure there are accounts that have or people that you follow that you don't necessarily always care for all of the content they're producing, but you might care for them as people. Who are some of the people that you've had to put on mute over the past few years?
Let me look. How do you see blocked people or muted people?
I think you go to
I
settings,
don't.
privacy. Sorry,
Can you see the people you
Brad
muted?
knows.
Yeah,
Wait,
I've got some folks muted myself.
wait, let me see. Oh, you can
Restricted
see it.
accounts.
Okay, wow.
I don't think I've ever muted anyone. I think I only ever unfollowed.
Wow, you're a better person than me. I like muting because then you didn't unfollow anyone.
Nobody that really like will ruffle any feathers in this list. I have.
Are you just a straight up unfollower then? You just hit the unfollow.
Kinda.
You don't mess around with the
It doesn't
mute.
like that shit doesn't bother me. Like, no, if you have that app that tells you like who unfollowed you, probably should.
You're doing too much.
You're doing way too much, dog. Yeah, it sucks because I would love to put people on blast, but I know that the people that run these companies or have these like things or like have never not been nice to me, so it's like tough to put them on blast. But like
That's fair.
The shit that bothers me is like that Chicago golf guy that was like in the golf memes, like pretty misogynistic, or like I've seen them comment like all lives matter on posts. Like I just unfollow them, or I don't interact with them anymore. And I don't think that they know that they did anything to bother me.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you want them to know that they did something to bother you?
No, who gives a fuck?
Good. Okay.
So Chicago golf, pretty much any of like the Barstool accounts are like just absolute trash.
Any account that promotes golf joggers, I'm guessing. Instant block.
Instant block.
Instant
report.
Zyre Golf. Zyre Golf has a like marketplace called Zyre Goods, and they used to be public, and I went on there just to check it out, and like every single piece of merchandise that they had for sale was like, there was like a Malbin knockoff, there was a Metalwood knockoff, there was an Anti-Country Club knockoff. Whoa. And it was like so blatantly obvious, like that they were like using these people's designs, and then it went private.
Oh shit.
And I just like, classic. And I don't follow it, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But that is a bummer, because Zyre Golf is probably the most followed golf account on Instagram.
Gotta be. Yeah.
So they have a huge platform, and they're just doing that shit. They're selling that stuff to people that have no idea what Malbin or Metalwood or like Anti-Country Club is, or any of the brands that are just listed. So that sucks. That's kind of it.
My follow
one Instagram golfer girl that was posting so much, and then like pivoted to TikTok, and all of her TikToks made it on Instagram, and I just like had to be done with it. It was so bad.
There's a reason that there's two separate apps, and that why I don't participate in one of those apps. And it's I don't want to see your TikToks on Instagram. So, to follow up on muted folks, what like do you receive a lot of hate DMs, or do you receive a lot of pushback on just your takes of golf fashion, or is everyone usually pretty receptive since they know you and the brand?
Sometimes I will make a comment that is really mean-spirited and should bother a lot of people, and it just is fine because it's so niche. It goes right over people's heads. Or I'll get a comment like I'll post a picture of a really like skinny blade, and the caption is something like, "You're gonna hate the way your hands feel, I guarantee it." And then some like 50-year-old dude will comment, "Why?" And then I just like I don't have to go and explain myself. I don't have to go and do anything.
No, it's even better to just leave that there. Leave the comment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, exactly. Leave that on red for sure.
My favorite comments are the ones that are like really spammy, where it's like,
yes,
I just invested $3,000 with Mr. Bosch, and like I wouldn't be the same without him.
I always respond to those.
I made like $37,000. I always respond to those.
You gotta respond.
Promoted on Lovely Adams.
Yeah, exactly.
Promote today.
What was the question? Oh, hate comments?
Yeah.
I got one the other day where it was like, I'm selling a hat right now that's like, portion of the proceeds go towards the Evans Scholars Foundation, where
great
it's
organization,
like, who has paid for over 11,000 caddies to go to college, full room and board and everything. And the hat, mind you, is not anything special. it's really cool because it has a heritage, right? Like the PAR Club is a group of donators within the Evan Scholars Foundation that does a lot of the heavy lifting for the funding of these kids. It's called PAR Club, and it is literally just a hat that says PAR Club in massive Arial font on it. And like, that's the hat that they've been wearing for 50 years, right? Like, that's a historical logo. So I posted a picture of it, and I think some dude was like dogging on like it, laughing at the hat, and then made like a graphic design is my passion kind of joke. But then he deleted it and then immediately made a comment that was like, hat is whack. And then I just commented like, I'm sorry, is there something whack about sending 11,000 kids to
Yes. Get in his ass, Cole.
And then immediately deleted the comment, unfollowed me, and then I just saw he followed me again this morning.
Amazing.
Let's go.
So he thinks he's real slick, but
We see you. We see you.
ain't slick. Yeah. People are so dumb on Instagram. People think that people are so
It's literally
dumb.
all traceable.
It's all traceable.
It's all traceable,
I
and it
also
all
have
and it,
like gone on.
and it doesn't. Nothing matters either.
This was the other thing too, is like when it was either the USGA announcing Pride Month or it was like Scratch TV changing their flag logo to the rainbow flag, the LGBTQ plus flag. And I was just like reading the comments, like horrible things. And I was clicking on these people's profiles to see what they look like. And they are just like,
Oh wait, I remember you doing this, and you
Like-
posted some to your story.
oh my God. And
That
it
was
like
incredible.
a bunch of bald dudes in like Oakley
Yes.
oil rigs, wraparound sunglasses in their like truck's front seat, and the window on the back had a big like "Don't tread on me"
Yes.
sticker. And then I put them on blast on my story, and then I got DMs from people saying like, "Why are you giving these people attention?" And it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck?
That was my favorite pastime. Commenting back or like looking through the comments.
Shitting on people.
It became, honestly, it became a little bit too much for me. I needed to press pause on it. But the best feature that Instagram took away was the like page, where you could see the people you were following and what they liked.
Oh, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, you could get some deep
The
shit
creep
on
page.
that.
The creep page.
Yes, you
Creep page.
would
The
be
shovel page.
surprised at some of your favorites around this industry and what they subscribe to, what they like, what they watch. Like, shoo!
Amen.
That's a Zuby right there.
That's the dirt page.
That is like dangerous
Yes.
transparency. I'm trying to find a picture of like some fat fuck that commented "All Lives Matter." Give me one sec.
I think the bio of most of those were like God first, family, football. I think that was probably the
Right.
bio for most of those guys.
Yeah. Bills Mafia.
Lots of Bills Mafia. Yep.
Hold on. This guy writes, the American flag is enough. We are either American or not. Disappointed.
Yep.
Like Scratch. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's money. Is he holding his dick? What is happening there?
Fits the description.
He's holding a face mask,
face mask.
which is
That's creepy.
That's ironic
actually
because he probably
ironic.
does not wear it.
Definitely has never worn a mask.
Never.
It's never gone over his face, that's for sure.
This shit actually kind of really bothered me for a bit. Especially when Cameron, I mean, granted, Cameron Champ could probably go a little harder than just like writing Black Lives Matter on his shoes. Like you could go way harder.
We could do a whole separate podcast on that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part 2 coming soon.
Yeah.
But
Get Chip on the pod.
Do it.
the comments section on that Instagram was so upsetting that I had to put my phone down.
Yeah.
I like this guy
Yep.
too.
Oh, nice.
It became too much for me, man. I was starting to, when your eyes lock on a thing, like for no reason really, you could just be in the middle of a conversation and then your eyes just lock, and that is what you're focused on, and you can't do anything with your hands. I was having recollections of comments, like I was seeing them and like looking at them. My eyes were locked, thinking about this person's comment, thinking about their username. That's when I was
Like while you were having a conversation
yes,
with somebody completely unrelated to that?
completely unrelated. I would just be like, it would have that much of a hold on my thoughts.
Yeah,
I was
that's not
like,
good.
this is way, way, way too much. So I started focusing on
Crazy.
me and on the community that I can touch and reach, and working with Drew and Connor, and that became a higher priority. It's just way too much, man. People are just really unhappy out here, and are trying to take other people down, and
Salty
Yeah.
ass hoes.
yeah, I'm gonna let them do them.
Yeah,
Well, I think
it's got to be more spice. I know we're over time, but I could do this like literally for 4 more hours.
same. I was gonna say we can go posy again, since I brought some of the spicy takes out. Cole? What is your walk up music? What is your walk up song?
I have to check this one too. I honestly don't know it off the top of my head. Maybe "Let's Groove Tonight" by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Also, maybe "Codeine Crazy" by Future. Or Madonna.
Just
La Isla
Madonna.
Bonita. Yeah, any song by
Pink.
Madonna. No,
Pink.
La Isla Bonita.
Any Pink song?
You know what's weird is that anytime I think of Pink, I think of, wasn't she married to like Carrie Hart, the
Yes,
dirt biker?
they're still married.
Whoa.
For real?
Phrase.
Yes.
I really liked dirt biking, like freestyle dirt biking BMX as a kid, and like Carrie Hart had these signature Van shoes. And I think that I was always bummed that like when I thought of Carrie Hart, I thought of Pink. But now that I think of it, every time I think of Pink, I think of Carrie Hart. I think that's like
It's kind of
It works in both ways. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
all 3 songs that you named are you also named an icon. So, but well rounded, and I feel like we have very similar music tastes.
Yeah. Fuck. One more. I Touch Myself by the Divinals. If you don't hear that, if you hear that and you don't dance, there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
Couldn't agree more.
That's fair.
I think there needs to be outro music to this song or this podcast.
There will be, don't worry.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for your intro post on social, we usually try and throw in one of your songs, so we can add that for sure.
Yeah, Walk Up Songs is a good one.
It really
feel
lets you
like,
see the behind the curtain for someone that you might assume would like one thing, and then they flip it on your head, and then they go a complete 180 from where you thought.
I feel like this surprises a lot of people. I was in a fraternity in college.
Whoa, that does surprise me.
And yeah. And
It's off brand.
when people were like rushing or like during orientation, you would always ask like really interesting questions like that. Like, what's your walk-up song? If you got a boat, what would you name it?
That's a good one.
If you had an empty pool, what would you fill it with? There's some other ones. It's like the stupidest, like frattiest shit. Like, if you could bring any dead dude back to life and you could have a beer with them, who would it be?
Who would it be?
I don't fucking know.
Rick Owens.
Sevi.
There's only one answer. There's only one answer. It's Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah. Facts.
R.I.P.
But yeah, fraternity questions.
You did say you wore V-necks and Obey shirts, so that could check out. I could check out.
Yeah. What a crazy time.
What is your mortal wound? What is that thing, that nut you can't crack, that puzzle piece you can't find?
How do you make money?
Whoa.
How do you make money?
Like,
That's
physically?
the question that you keep asking yourself?
Like, yes, how do you make real money?
Like real money, not like survivable money, but
Yeah.
I think you have to sell your soul.
like money.
Yeah, like, how do you make money? Like, Keith Huffnagel, R.I.P., like, lived a good-ass life off of, like, socks with weed plants on them.
Yeah.
Facts.
R.I.P. indeed.
Tisa bought a house off of 40-ounce van bought a house off snapbacks. Like, what? And then, like, one of my favorite podcasts, only second to you guys, those guys, Cumtown, are making, like, on Patreon, I think they're making like $100,000 a month.
And they just make
They're splitting it between 3 people.
Yeah,
they
same.
just make like
Us too.
dick jokes. Yeah, $100,000. That's.
Think about that.
I think
You win
I
the
think,
lottery. That's how you make money.
Okay, so I drive by the fucking lottery billboard on the freeway all the time, and the one in Carson is like maybe 45 minutes away from my house, and I'll blink and I'm in my driveway. I'm like, wow, I just thought about winning the lottery and what I would do for like literally 45
What would you
minutes.
do?
House, get married, that's pretty much what I start with, and then the rest of it is just John's.
You buy
you cup all the things.
Vault.
The ping vault.
Yes.
No, you
Buy the
you
pinball.
cop all the things that were on your recent search history on eBay.
Yeah, my. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the
And that would leave me a little, rest of the money to maybe invest in. But
Nah.
What's the biggest size building you would want to fill, or room, or closet, or hangar that you would fill with golf clubs? Like, how big would you go?
oh my god,
That,
a fucking
The
Costco.
limit does not exist.
yeah. You'd have the
the limit does
you'd
not
have the Jay
exist.
Leno garage of golf clubs.
Yes, but everything would be like, it would be like a library where like every club is cataloged and barcoded. So you can
Is there a
go to
Dewey Decimal
computer
System of
and
golf clubs? There must be, right? You could invent that.
You could.
There's your money.
That's
That's
how
going
you
behind the
make money.
paywall too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so when I worked for a couple of the club manufacturers, there's a thing called Daryl Survey. And so Daryl Survey is what all the golf outlets like golf.com and Golf Digest and Golf WRX, they get their information on like who's playing what, what's in their bag, all that kind of stuff that comes from the Daryl Survey, because on Wednesday when everybody shows up for the practice rounds at the PGA Tour, there's some guy going around with an iPad and like checking the clubs and building a report out of it, because it helps out with, like without the Darrell survey, the title's ball count wouldn't exist. You know how they advertise, like, 65% of the last 100 PGA Tour winners used Titleist ball. Like they wouldn't have that information without that. So everybody pays the Darrell survey. But yeah, to have some sort of catalog of, I think there is, unfortunately, because every club has to be either USGA conforming or it's not conforming, they assign those codes.
I just love that there's literally just some bloke named Daryl walking around with an iPad being like, what clubs are you playing this week?
Yeah, exactly. And I have no idea why it's named the Darrell survey, but it is spelled like
Darryl.
It's fucking hilarious. Darrell.
Maybe it's Darrell.
Not even the cool way to spell it. No, because everybody knows on the tour it's like the Darrell survey. The Darrell
sounds like a
little
R&B group from the 90s. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Darrell.
The Darrell survey.
I mean, imagine going around to like.
I'd pay for that.
Imagine going up to Tiger Woods and being like, "I ain't Cole Young. Darrell survey. What do you have in your bag this week?" Like, piss off.
Yeah.
Go away.
What do I have in my bag this week? A tournament win.
I'm fucking golfing here.
Cole,
piss off, wanka.
What's the time on the golf course you've laughed the hardest?
Probably there's a high school CIF tournament at Warner Springs, and I'm with all of my high school golf team, and this is like a sleepaway golf tournament, so we hadn't really like spent all that much time together like this, and it is 110 degrees outside and like no one wants to be there, and one of my friends took an alignment rod and whipped another friend in the shin just because he was like acting up, and we were at the furthest point away from the pro shop and he just walked in because he was just like so over it. And I think that was probably one of the funniest times. It was one of those you had to be there moments. Or another time, my brother was caddying for me in like a Long Beach City event, and he has like this cackle of a laugh that like is really contagious. And I think everybody knows that like the funniest things are things that are funny when you're not supposed to be laughing.
Of course.
Like farts in church.
Yeah, exactly. So this dude is like, we're making the turn at Skylink. So we're playing the 10th hole.
Love Skylink.
Which has a little water on the left. And there's like a tree over the water. And this guy just shot like, I think the handicap requirement to get into this tournament is like 2. So everybody's like decent. And this dude just shot like a 54 on the front 9, like having an awful, awful, awful day. And the green is here, the water's here, and this is the fairway, and he's in the fairway. He probably has like a 90-yard like flip wedge into a front pin, but he has to go over the water and the trees. And he blades the shit out of it, hits the tree, which he should have gone over, and it goes immediately like straight down to the water. But it was the velocity at which the ball hit the tree and then bounced directly down into the water. Like it was like a huge, horrible ricochet. And then my brother like couldn't keep it in. He was just like dying of laughter right in front of this guy for maybe 15 minutes. And that is also like one of the funniest things I've ever. That's probably the hardest I've laughed on a golf course.
Did that player was he able to laugh at himself, or was he the like imploding after shooting?
No, he was so angry. He was so mad.
I mean, to be in such a tournament where you have to have a 2 handicap and you shoot a 54 on the front, that's that's rough. That's rough for anyone. Yeah, hate to see it.
You hate to see that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had some good times on the golf course.
This is Connor's question. But what is your favorite golf smell?
Gas carts. The exhaust of like gas carts.
That's up there for me too.
I think the smell of just like exhaust in general.
Yo, like, what is so intoxicating about that? Like The smell of like pulling up to a gas
I
station.
don't know.
Since I was a kid, I'm like, yo.
I don't
Like
know
being at a car
what it
mechanics is just like
Yes.
Heaven.
inject that into my veins.
Yes.
Like give that to me.
I don't know.
It's for me. It's the mixture of the exhaust with like grass clipping. So it's like a lawnmower specifically.
Grass clippings like doesn't get me though. I feel like that would be like the
That's
very
the
like
stock.
sage learned
That's the stock answer.
right?
For a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I don't know. Gas carts. Smacks.
It does. Like governor off gas carts. Those things just
Yeah.
rip.
Oh no, I'm thinking like the maintenance carts, like the Polarises.
Oh,
like
interesting.
The mowers,
Okay.
like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't. It's not the passenger golf carts are not potent
Important.
enough.
Yeah. They're not on that high octane shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also like,
They don't have the NOS.
when's the last time you were in one? In a gas
In a golf cart.
You got to go to the right courses.
Not that long ago, honestly. Tobacco Road in North Carolina is so hilly that you need a gas
Right.
cart.
There's a course
So
in
that's probably
Portland
the
where
last
you
one
need
last
gas
summer.
carts because they're so hilly.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Where can the
Cool.
people find you?
Personal Instagram is Thick Owens, THICK_Owens. MetalWood Studio. The two elements. A lot of people think it's MetalWood Studio, like MEADO.
No. It's MetalWood
So that's
Studio.
how I've said. Yeah. MetalWood.studio is the website. MetalWood Studio is the Instagram.
Meadowwood.
I really just wanted to hear you say Thick Owens.